All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakakwadash, give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa'akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Another video through the Spirit, your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Hey, and this one right here, why did he get rid of the seeds? Hey, in this video right here, Mr. Bobby Price, Dr. Bobby Price, hey, fair use. I do not profit off of this video. All right. But I got this here. I'm going to be using this clip, y'all. He's going to be speaking about some things that we know, but just reinforcing it. Here it is. You read the scriptures. It tells you the Heavenly Father created seed on the earth for man to use, right? Now the foods that we eat today, fruits and vegetables and the modified meats and the GMOs, right? It's all killing us. And this wasn't done by accident. And it wasn't just done for convenience neither. This was deliberately done to break you down genetically. And now we're seeing the results of it decades later. Everybody got physical ailments and issues from birth that are essentially, that seem incurable, but at the beginning it wasn't like this, y'all. So let me actually start with and like he's gonna go on to say, y'all, your food was your medicine. The things that you ate was to heal you and to keep you sustained. And this man Esau Edom divided it and broke it all up. Sirach 38:4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. The things that grow on the ground are for our healing. Esau Edom is not a wise man. The so-called white man, all the shit that he talks and boasts in, he's an evil degenerate, because he took the natural way and he got rid of it and replaced it with his petrochemicals that's now destroying everybody. All right, so let's go.
Everybody knows this is the banana. This is the banana that you are very familiar with. All right, I do believe this is the Cavendish. All right, the most common banana that you see in the supermarket. Now, when I used to eat this banana as a boy, when you would crack this banana open, down the center, you would see some black speckles. Now it's just a space where they used to be. All right, now let me show you a banana that I planted on the farm. Okay, I'll show it to you. All right, it's kind of old, but still can give you the same example. But this is that same banana, but with seeds. You see that seed there? All right, let's cut it down the middle so you can see that even better. All right. These are the seeds in a banana. Okay. Now this is just as sweet as this banana.
And what he's saying, hey, this is something, apostles, elder brothers, bishops, right? Men who are actually literally older in real life. All the older men say this as youngins, y'all, right? You had the fruits and the vegetables were very much different back then compared to what they are now today.
The difference between this banana that has no seeds and this banana that has seeds is that, one, this one's far more nutritious, and two, I can take the seeds from this banana, okay, here, put it in the ground and grow more bananas. This, I cannot do that with. Now, that's the reason why I'm bringing this up. I'm gonna open up another banana so you can see.
I'm gonna let much of this video play, then I got another clip I'm gonna play too.
Another example, okay? Okay, see another example. All right, this, okay, or that. All right. Now this is important, that seed. All right, the presence of a seed is very important. You don't see a seed here. You see a seed there, right? Let me grab the seed out of there so you can see it. Okay. That's the seed, all right?
Many of us have never eaten a banana with real seeds in it. And that's just the fact of the matter.
Why is a seed important? A seed is important because that was God's gift to us. That was Mother Nature's gift to us, so that we never go hungry again. As long as we have seeds, we can always plant the seeds and grow more for the next year. We'll always have a harvest. This, you will never have a harvest. Okay? A seed is a divine, infinite process in that when you put a seed in the ground and it grows a banana plant or it grows a mango tree or a soursop tree, now you have that tree that...
I'm gonna go, and he's gonna quote it, but I'm gonna go there first. The seed is a divine, infinite process. You know, that's a hell of a statement. And who set that up? Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai at the beginning, right? In the creation, you know, all the things were being made, and what did he say? It is good to Wab. The seed was created so that we can constantly, here it is, we have a whole planet Earth, and people deal with hunger, famine, starvation. All right, and many of these issues are man-made issues because the so-called white man, whether he be from Europe, whether he be from America, and all of his greed, he destroys people's abilities to have power and governance over themselves. And one of the things that he does is strip you of your ability to grow and maintain your own food. Because if you can't feed yourself, you ain't gonna be able to go to war against him. He's a sick motherfucker, y'all. Genesis 1. I'm gonna start at let me start at, I'm sorry, y'all. Let's just turn it back in. I guess that's the handicap spot. Some bitch. Yeah, 1 second, y'all. Salakia. This motherfucker all the way up past the goddamn dividend. Genesis 1, and I'm gonna start at right at it, verse 29. It says, "And the power said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." All right, and remember, this is, you know, before the flood, right? So the Adam and the Eve were herbivores at this time, all right? And humanity, we would go on to begin to eat animal meats, all right? So don't take this video the wrong way. This isn't saying that we have to be vegetarians, but all right, originally we were for a moment. We were given everything that we needed. Verse 30, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. Bingo. So the seed, y'all, the herbs bear seed so that you can constantly grow them without issue. Now, if you take that away, you take away a person's ability to provide for themselves, y'all, which is something an evil man would do. Sirach, I go to it all the time, Sirach 34 and 22. Verse 21, it says, "The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the laborer of his hire is a blood shedder." So if you strip away a man's ability to take care of himself, you're essentially killing him. If he can't feed himself, he can't work. If he can't, he dies. He dies off, him and his family. And that's what Esau Edom has done to the masses as a whole. Not even just us, the Israelites, but to his own people, y'all. He stripped everybody of autonomy. 1 second, y'all. Yep, he stripped everybody of autonomy and self-preservation. All right, another one, then I'll go back to the video. Leviticus 19 and 13. All right, we have the just laws, man. You're supposed to leave things for people. You don't take it all. You don't gather it all. Right? It had the great gatherers, man. The scripture in Obadiah. They had enough, Esau don't ever have enough. Leviticus 19 and 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither, not this one, excuse me. Leviticus 19 and 10. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and the stranger. I am Yahweh your power. Bingo. So there's enough food to go around on the planet Earth. And you're supposed to leave food behind on your land, right, for the poor. They come through, they get a couple, and they go on about their business. You don't have to gather up 100%. You know, you gather up 95%, leave the rest. Does this man practice that? No, he takes everything. Hence, he's taken away your ability to feed yourself naturally.
In the ground, and it grows a banana plant, or it grows a mango tree, or a soursop tree. Now you have that tree that every year is going to produce, sometimes multiple times in a year. All right, which means that multiple times a year you're going to get multiple seeds, which means that you can put multiple trees down. I remember growing up as a kid and going from neighbor's yard to the other neighbor's yard, and this neighbor would have a plum tree, and this neighbor would have a mango tree, and this neighbor would have this kind of tree, and this neighbor would have that kind of orange tree. I remember that growing up. And now you can't find a neighbor with fruit in their yard.
And brothers talk about this, and he's not lying. Nobody got them in their yard anymore.
All right, so it's just really important for us to understand there's a reason why watermelon doesn't have seeds anymore.
So I'm gonna fast forward here in a second.
Okay, there's a reason why they're created by God. But you can't patent food. You can't patent nature. You can't patent herbs. You can't patent fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. They can't be patented. Nobody can say, hey, you can't make soursop. All right, grab one here. Nobody can say God's property, right? God in the food, God's property, right here. Can't make this soursop. Okay, I can't take the seeds from this and put it in the ground and grow a tree. Nobody, this isn't even my property. This is God's property right here.
And that right there, y'all, that's why we would always pray for a good harvest, because it wasn't up to us if, you know, if the food, if it was going to be plentiful, right? We know the law, the land Sabbath, right? That was up to the Heavenly Father if he was going to give us constant good rain, constant good crop. You know, and this is the mindset that our people have, man. Esau Edom doesn't have that mind. You see what he said? He said, this ain't my food, it's the Lord's food, because he provides. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, doesn't think like that. He's a greedy demon, which is why he has everybody down here bad, or down bad.
All right, but we've deviled it up.
Esau has deviled it up. The so-called white man has deviled it up, chemicaled it up, processed it up.
God out of the food. It's specific about the seed. I have given you every seed-bearing plant. Even your green leafy vegetables, they come from. When did food and medicine become separate? Okay? It became separate when they realized that you couldn't patent food in the early 1900s with Rockefeller. And so Rockefeller created the General Education Board. He then hired a man to go out to all of the medical schools and do an evaluation. And as a result of that evaluation, which was called the Flexner Report, they essentially removed 75% of anything that was natural.
This video should have 7 billion views, right? This is one of them type of junts, and you see 176,000. This is the type of video that should have billions of views, not Anaconda by Nicki Minaj, right? Or that one song by Cardi B, right? She said she'll drug a nigga, right? This is the type of knowledge that motherfuckers need to know. You understand? And we're going to get into that. How the Rockefeller, it always goes back to that son of a bitch, John D. Rockefeller. Whoever he is, y'all, we're going to give him absolute hell in the kingdom. I'm talking about 24/7. Shit, 24/6, you know, Sabbath day off, right? That dude is responsible for so much of the horrible shit today. It's literally not even funny.
Used as a treatment, okay? But because before this report, 75% of the therapy in hospitals and clinics at doctor's office was natural remedies, okay?
As we read in that Sirach 38:4, right? So let me do this real quick. Let's do this real quick. The Flexner Report. What do we got? From 1910, the Flexner Report, impact on medical medicine. You know, so this is. Oh yeah, yep, wow, yep. And he mentions it, y'all. Yeah, just looking right here, Abraham Flexner says 50% of closure of medical schools, decreased number of African American graduates, decreased number of female graduates. So one of the things it did, y'all, it helped get rid of Jake medicine, because remember, right out of slavery, you know, we would fix things ourselves. We would, you know, we didn't have a hold on the so-called advanced medical equipment, so we were still treating things with the old remedies that we knew from the west coast of Africa, right? You got the particular issue, get you some yam root, right? Got this issue, get you some ginger. Got that issue, go get you some what's that white powder? Demetrius earth. I know I'm butchering it. Brothers know it, right? Esau Edom. In getting rid of natural herbs, he also took away our ability to heal ourselves, specifically the Israelites. All right, it says the Flexner Report, officially titled Medical Education United States and Canada, was a landmark 1910 report by Abraham Flexner that revolutionized North American medical education by advocating for a science-based, university-affiliated model, leading to the closure of many substandard schools, the rise of the biomedical model, and the consolidation of medical training around scientific research and clinical instruction hospitals. So, you know, they're using these fancy words. They got rid of everything that didn't involve their petrochemicals, y'all. Straight up, straight down. And if you didn't want to teach what they told you to teach, they clipped you. Whenever you see that word science-based, you know it's some BS in the air. And it mentions here what? It says those funded by the Carnegie Foundation, and its recommendations were later supported by Rockefeller philanthropy. These elite families, Carnegie is another one. These elite evil families, y'all, significantly reduced the number of black and female physicians by closing most black and all female medical schools. So another target was us, as always. So this is, you know, just reading the summary, because I'm gonna play the video clip and it'll explain it a lot better. But this is the fancy way of saying they got rid of everything that was outside of their system, and now look how bad we're suffering for it. Let's play this fucking demon, man. And I know some of y'all have seen this before, but it's a good clip, so fuck it.
Around the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S. medicine. When it was discovered that drugs could be produced from petroleum, America's top oil mogul ordered his army of propagandists to invert reality accordingly. Medicines used for thousands of years were suddenly classified as alternative, while the new, petroleum-based, highly addictive, and patentable drugs were declared the gold standard. After buying a German pharmaceutical company that manufactured chemicals of war for Adolf Hitler, Rockefeller leveraged his political influence by pressing Congress to declare natural healing modalities unscientific.
Right here, Abraham Flexner. We just read it. So this is real, this is legit, this isn't conspiracy theory.
Scientific quackery. Rockefeller then took control of the American Medical Association and began offering massive grants to top medical schools under the mandate that only his approved curriculum be taught. Any mention of the healing powers of herbs, plants, and diet was erased from most medical textbooks. Doctors and professors who objected to Rockefeller's plan were crucified by the media, removed from the AMA, and stripped of their license to teach and practice medicine. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and jailed. When evidence began to emerge that petroleum-based medicines were causing cancer, Mr. Rockefeller founded the American Cancer Society, through which he suppressed that information.
So right there, y'all, right there. It's always these people, y'all. It's always these people. And they're constantly, you know, the light's being shown on them, but the damage has been done, y'all. You know, the damage has been done, man. All right, so coming back here for a second, letting them speak. You know, and this guy, you know, he has a decent little following, right? But obviously not enough. And which, hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is the answer, right? You have certain people that have certain little bits of truth. We have the whole truth over here. These things aren't going to be fixed. They're the Edom America. They're not going to turn around and revolutionize things one day and just stand up and want to do the right thing and heal people. No. Things will stay fucked. But this is for us to know, y'all. So for you, learn what your body needs, right? Put certain things down. A lot of the ailments that bros have, right? People in general, you ate yourself into that. And so, in theory, you can uneat yourself out of it. So now you just got to do the reverse. Exercise, fast, right? Start getting healthier options at the store. It can make a difference.
Natural remedies, okay? Even back in the days when you would drink a root beer, root beer actually had roots in it, like sassafras, okay? 7-Up actually had lithium in it, which is good for the brain and the mood. As a mood, too much stomach. At the 1800s, early 1900s, you would go into an apothecary or a pharmacy, they literally would put the medicine in the water and then add a little bit of sugar to heal you, okay? But once this report came out, everything changed. 80% of, historically black medical schools got canceled, no funding, okay? And any school that did not teach the usage of pharmaceutical drugs, they got no funding, which essentially meant that they got no funding from the government. Rockefeller moment that they acquiesced. And it was that moment that food and medicine became two separate things. And this is also the same moment that the FDA was created, the Food and Drug Administration. You see the separation? Food and Drug Administration. So the FDA, who is approving food now, is the same FDA who approved genetically modified foods in the late 90s. Okay, it's the same organization that approved, pesticides and herbicides to be sprayed on food. The same organization that approved lab-grown meats. Okay, the same organization that approved 3D printing meat. The same organization that approved, this BT corn, which is the majority of corn that people are eating today. It's the same organization. It's the same organization that approved drugs like Vioxx that killed, unalive, over 50,000 people. It's the same organization. And that's when food and drugs became separated. And as soon as they became separated, the unfortunate, or more so food and medicine, when they became separated, that's when we got sick. When the medicine wasn't in the food, case in point, with a soursop. When the medicine wasn't in the food, that's when we begin to get sick.
When they became separate, that's when we started getting sick. So whose fault is it, y'all? Esau, Edom, once again. And is it a theory? No. It's verified. So what has to happen, y'all? These mother effers have to be removed out of power. That's what has to happen. Otherwise, what? No flesh will be saved. But for the elect's sake, as we know, right? So, hey, man, the sooner this man is removed, the sooner things will be better. Right? Just simply, right? You just eat better and do the best you can until we get the hell out of here. Don't bug out and trip behind it. It is what it is. But you can get the best of the worst while you're here. All right, so that's it, y'all. And we give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachakorash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Wa Akwat, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.